Okay, so I have the videos pulled up in flow feedback. So I also one of the people that was on the flow feedback Reddit channel actually told me a really cool thing, and I'm telling you this, guys, just in case you ever use flow feedback yourself. So there's this annoying glitch where you can't actually click on the more videos stuff, and usually it's like a big bar here. Oh, that is caps, not tab. Hey, appreciate the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. So there's this thing that you can't actually touch. It's normally like this, which is actually pretty obnoxious, because one of the nice parts of flow feedback is that you can like draw on the screen and show stuff, and that's really a lot less helpful when you can't see a third of the screen. And if you click, you can't actually click on this because the for whatever reason the web page just prioritizes clicking the actual video itself over this. But what you can do is you can tab through all the elements on the page, and you can select it eventually via that, and then press enter. And then it goes away, and then we can actually see the screen, and it's wonderful. So, yeah. I'm just gonna turn my audio down a bit too. As hyped as I am. Okay. So I'm mostly interested in analyzing the Roy aspects of his play, of course. Surprise, surprise. But I do actually want to watch his videos as Wario too. I'm not gonna like pause these and like go over them in detail or anything like that. I just want to get a general gist of how these matches went, because I'm curious why he picked Roy. I think it is a good matchup, but I'm wondering what Roy does that Wario doesn't. It is great to see Roy winning major. I completely agree. Actually, get to the start of the game here. So yeah, nothing too fancy. Just gonna watch through these games. I also haven't seen much Wario play, so honestly, this is good for me. Tweek has been doing lots of good stuff with him, but I haven't, like, it's really difficult for me to find the time to watch all the majors that happen nowadays, because there are so many. There's so many tournaments. It's like, it's a full-time job trying to keep up with them all, and I got other things to do. So I want to go over this for those two reasons. Interesting footstool down there. It's cute. Do you think Roy could solo win a major? Probably not, because Roy folds pretty hard to Pichu and Olimar, and Pichu and Olimar are top tier, like, they're meta picks at the moment. So I think he would require some secondaries, but I think like doing the heavy lifting with Roy is totally possible. Afternoon, Eldaris, welcome to the stream. One thing I feel like Roy's gonna do a lot better than Wario is Wario's got good airspeed, but he doesn't have good range. So it's probably gonna be pretty difficult for Wario to actually catch Zero Suit in the air. Like whenever Zero Suit is setting up for like her like short up neutralers and like stuff like that, like short up bear, it's gonna be hard for a character like Wario to actually get inside that space. Whereas Roy has neutral air. that wouldn't necessarily work in that like the situation with the back air, but if Zero Suit is trying to use her neutral air as well, or like poke with forward airs, Roy rising neutral. Roy rising neutral air is basically a better Zero Suit rising forward air. Do you still have the Mii Sword for your secondary for the all my Pichu matchups? No, I haven't been putting as much time into that character, really any time into that character lately. Character's okay. Good respect on that Nair jab. It's an okay character, but I feel like it's more work than what other characters would be. And while it's hilarious to play as Alucard in this game, or Roy with a projectile, I feel like it's better for me to invest time into characters that are established better ones, like Richter, Chrom, Lucino. So yeah, I've been using those characters against the smaller characters to some success. Chrom versus Pichu is interesting. That's probably what I'm going to be going in that matchup, but still working on Lucina as well. My Richter, I feel like, hasn't been doing as good. Richter Olimar feels like a good matchup, but once they get done, once they get into the spacing of like just outside of F-tilt range, I feel like it's kind of hard for Richter to do stuff. And that's probably not necessarily just an Olimar matchup problem. I'm sure that's something that like the good Richters I figured out how to deal with in general. But I don't know how to deal with it. so I'm not sure if I'm going to try to like work through that problem, or if I'm just going to play Chrom Cena. Would Chrom be a good secondary for Olimar and Pichu? Yes, he would. He's still not like, it might not necessarily be a winning matchup versus Pichu and Olimar, but Chrom is much better at dealing with small characters than Roy is. He's much better excuse me, he's much better at edgeguarding Olimar. He's much better at getting in on Olimar. He's much better at just like randomly killing Pichu, which Roy is honestly kind of bad at. It's hard to sweet spot him. Nice coverage there on the down B. That's hilarious. Those matches are kind of scary. I guess that's a downside to this matchup too, is that a lot of times Wario is going to be like full hopping around like that, and it's usually hard for characters to stop him or punish him whenever he's coming down at them. But Zero Suit just has up smash, so she's just going to wait for whip around, and then Wario's going to have kind of a hard time. Yeah, like there, like that neutral air, that's not going to beat Zero Suit in aerials. Whereas like a well-timed right back air forward air there would. Zero Suit grab isn't too scary, just gotta not freak out afterwards. It's like Roy forward air. And like, it's technically not it's not like a bad position for Roy or a Zero Suit, but as long as like the person on defense is careful, like, they shouldn't really. I've been using Wolf as a secondary versus small characters, and I feel like it does a good job. Yeah, Wolf probably does really good against small characters too, yeah. And having a reflector really helps against Olimar, because you can reflect all of his smash attacks, and then he explodes. I'm sure you guys have all seen the video of the Fox player holding Shine for like legit 10 seconds, and then Olimar running up and up smashing it and dying. It's very funny. Side B's a good move now. Yeah, and Wolf is like similar to Lucina in that he's really easy. He's not hard to pick up. Doesn't require like lots and lots of time to like invest into. But as a Roy player, I feel like Chrom is the same as well. Like he feels very natural to me. I just have to figure out how to like work his up B. And it's nice because like one thing I was worried about is that I would touch Chrom and just be like, oh well, this character is just the the Marth to the old melee Roy. He's just better in every way. He just doesn't have a sweet spot, so he's he's godlike. So just play Chrom for everything. But that's definitely not the case. There are definitely lots of matchups where I'm like, wow, that matchup looks like it sucks for Chrom. He gets gimped by so many characters. Any character that has like the Squirtle water gun, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to deal with that. So it's nice that I feel like he's applicable in different ways. It's not just gonna be like, oh well, I'm a Chrom main now. Does Chrom not get gimped by Olimar and Pichu? Not any harder than Roy does. Roy gets gimped real. Well, Roy doesn't get gimped super hard by Olimar, but he gets gimped super hard by Pichu. So it's not going to be any worse than Roy, in my opinion. Like, if Pichu down airs and just puts it at the right spot, it becomes a 50-50 of whether or not Roy dies, which is, like, terrifying. But no, not a Crown main, still Roy main. What is my next sub goal going to be once I hit this one? Not sure yet. Maybe to do a sub tournament or something along those lines. I think that'd be fun. Could always do the the Roy cosplay sub, which I'd actually be interested in. Like, I'd be down for that. It actually feels super weird to me, like all of this just feels so wimpy like combo. Yeah, his Nair actually combos worse than Roy Nair. I didn't know that. Like, while like the tip of the jab still sweet spots and send them out at like the same angle, with tip jab they're so far away and the angle is much lower, so it's actually still pretty hard to get the combo off of it. So it, like, and whenever you're point blank, his jab does not combo as well as Roy's point blank jab does. At 0%, he actually does not get a true follow-up from what I can see. Which is interesting. I didn't expect that. And yeah, they're oh, Jesus Christ, what the call out on that up. Thanks. Why not both? Yeah, exactly, yeah, we'll just play both. I'll still be a Roy main, but I'll like, Chrom will just be a counter pick. Oh, why not both for the the sub goals? That's not a bad idea. Maybe we have two different sub goals. Be fun. I haven't been worrying about that too much because I haven't been streaming too much. But so many other things I've been working on lately, which you guys will be hearing about soon. Yikes! Waft is horrifying. What percent was he at? Jesus Christ! He was at 62. Oh, being a Roy cosplay while hosting the tournament? That would be funny. Yo, that was godlike. I wonder if that was intentional. It must have been intentional. That spacing was very, very meticulous. Like, he was too close for the kick to really be functional. really smart. A swordie for every meta pick, right? I mean, you can do that. There's so many good sword characters in this game. And that's like that's not even talking about Cloud or Ike. Like, I already have 3 sword characters. And that's not counting me swordsman. I'm kind of not a sword character. Just like Robin kind of isn't a sword character. I'm actually thinking of Dark Pit for Beacon Beach and others. Interesting, interesting. I can see that. Good hitboxes, good recovery, solid damage output, solid KO power, solid KO power. Dark Pit's honestly like not a bad character, and the Pit as well. They're just like they're sort of like the Mario where they have like well, I should say they're sort of like the Lucina where they have like Lucina's got like a B plus or maybe even an A in like all the different categories you can have as a character. Dark Pit's like that. I feel like just like a little bit less, like just a B or just a B plus instead of A. Surprised at that. Oh, I guess he weaved a little bit too far. Interesting. So Wario's up B kind of sucks actually. Did he not have a side B? Why didn't he side B here? He was probably scared of getting up beat again. a little bit misspacing this week. So he was actually Mars was actually up 2-0. So Tweek's Wario was not doing great in this. What do you think mods will be more popular in Ultimate Stage skin, odd skins, etc.? Probably not for a while. The Switch can be hacked, but it's really hard. And the Nintendo's doing stuff like monitoring accounts and like banning you from the Switch's online stuff if they like detect that your Switch is modded. So they're working a lot harder to try to squelch the mods. So while they'll still happen, it's until there's an easy way to mod your Switch and until there's an easy way to avoid getting soft banned, I feel like it's never going to become really popular. They've never been keen on letting people mod things, so yeah. These could be a little bit low. Down on the low side. Yeah, it seems like Dark Pit's KO power is like, it's okay. Not great. Okay, well, this is actually what music as well, so let's not go off of that. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, it's something that's like pretty interesting to follow. Is like what companies are cool with the people modding their stuff or not. And even Sega's not like really great about it. Like they've definitely cease and desisted Sonic stuff. Yeah. So now we get into the Roy. You see the the thinking face from Tweek. Right, if they can't have Sonic, nobody can. This is interesting. He bans Smashville and FD. This is definitely bans against Wario, though. Also, this is really freaking cool. I love that they have these displays. It's kind of, it's always a fun minigame as a commentator. Like, what do you think they banned, Mr. Fellow Commentator? Like, oh, well, as this character, I think they usually ban this. But that's just a guess. Who knows? He goes town and city. Sweet. I don't know why he went town and city as right, but whatever. So one of the things, is this intentional? It can't be intentional. Maybe it was. Who knows? One of the really interesting things about Tweek's Roy is that it's pretty simple. He doesn't do a lot of fancy Roy stuff. He doesn't do Void Blades. He doesn't do like Nair 1 combos. His combo game overall is like, it's solid. He lands his jab back airs, which is really, really important. But overall, like he plays like just solid fundamentals. He doesn't move around a lot, doesn't press a lot of buttons. He's actually it's very, very reminiscent of his Smash 4 Cloud, where he'll be in situations where like he could potentially press a button, and instead he just dashes back and just turns around, and then just like gauges the situation from there, which I think is really fascinating. The fact that he turns those situations into winning situations pretty consistently. So because he's not doing a lot of the fancy Roy stuff, naturally I'll be pointing out some of the things that he could be doing, just because, you know, this is an analysis video. But overall his play is just clean, like capital every single letter that could ever be capitalized in that word. One interesting thing is that I don't think he ever just Nair approaches. If you want to take away anything from this video, I think it's a great example of how Roy should approach. Nair isn't a tool you just like dive at your opponent with. While Roy can do cross up Nair and shield and stuff, against a lot of characters it's not actually safe. And imagine if instead in those situations you just waited. Nair should be used as an interception tool more so as an approach tool. Didn't do any jab overs from his head boy. I don't know. I think jab over is like okay. And he never killed a side B. Yeah, he never kills a side B. I don't even know if he knows how to kill a side B. Like, there is like, you have to know how to use it. Like, the sweet spotting with it isn't like brain dead. It does takes, like, you have to be either point blank in your opponent's face at the ledge, or you need to be using the Void Blade to short up side B. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Nair 2 can get parried. There's some mean things that Roy can do with it where, like, against taller characters, if you run up Nair at an opponent and then don't fast fall, you can actually shield stab them on the second hit, but even that shield stab could get parried. So, like, that's not... It's a thing we get away with a lot, the cross-up Nairs, but it's not actually safe. Even if our opponent doesn't have an option to punish the cross-up itself, like the Nair can get parried and you can get blown up. Platform movement. Okay, so I could see the logic that I could see him using for picking this stage. Middle platforms like this are really good for Roy. Being able to set up different ways to move around and like use this as a platform to like spring off of it to like do falling forward airs and stuff is really good. And that's one of the reasons why I like Smashville so much with the character. That being a smaller stage as well is also nice. So I could see him counterpicking this stage here for that similar reason of the middle platform being really. Okay, so this is like the one example of him like running with Nair and like it not working. And even here, he's not Nairing to hit his opponent. So look at the spacing whenever he starts this Nair. He starts the Nair, and I'm gonna use the flow feedback's awesome draw on the screen stuff for this. Starts the Nair right here. And he uses it to attack like this space where his opponent is moving into, rather than like attacking, running in and then attacking this space, which isn't safe. So he's using it as like this space control to like again to intercept his opponent, not actually approach. Awesome. I'm glad you love the music. I really love the music too. So jab forward, yeah, simple, clean. Interesting. This might have been a higher than normal zero suit in there. That's why this jab didn't quite lead into the pressure that it normally would. Yeah, this is pretty high on shield. Yeah, it was like 4 frames after landing, so probably actually. Yeah, I mean, it blows my mind that some people still don't know or didn't know, like in the past, that OC Remix is a thing. It's such a great site. And I haven't even like paid attention to it in the last 5 years. I just listen to the same remixes that I like used to always listen to. I think I found like a handful more that I like 3 years ago. But yeah, so he does a pretty good job of trying to create situations off of forward air. So here he's actually like he's trying to bait out the down B. Like here he's looking to like back air the down B or up air the down B or like catch his double jump. Which I think is interesting. And this right here, this is something that Mr. R does a lot with Roy as well. And maybe Void, I don't know, I feel like I've seen Void do it a little bit less, but like rising forward air like this, and this is like a double jump forward air, but then immediately falling with up air. Forward air's got so little landing lag that you can do like Smash 4 Chic-esque stuff with this, where you like forward air high and then like fall with another aerial. Found out about through LimeWire, oh god, yeah, we're both old. Yeah, he's like not afraid to fish for jab. Like he gets hit, but he doesn't really take a lot of damage in that situation. That was just good coverage on Mars's part. Sorry. One of the days I'll stop hitting my mic. Zero Suit is kind of interesting because she technically does have a punish for these like close range jabs. It's not full hop forward air. I don't even know if short hop forward air would do it. Let's check some frame data. Or forward air comes out on frame 6. So it is technically a 9 frame out of shield option, but that is literally frame perfect for punishing Roy's forward air. The rest would have to be frame perfect. So she's not really going to punish forward jab like on shield with forward air, especially because I don't know if it even hits Roy. It might be too low. He might be too low. Her up B is still a frame 4 out of shield option, which is insanely fast, but it's got so much commitment now, and it doesn't hit as hard, so it's a scary thing to do. Did you know about the whiff fair and air dodging to the side? Yes! Yeah. If you short up forward air, you can air dodge if you don't fastball, which is kind of neat. Similarly to how you can short up forward air and then jump in Smash Forward in this game as well. Tweek is really, really good at placing his F tilts. F tilt is kind of a, like, it's a move that I haven't really liked too much as a Rai, and I still get frustrated with sometimes, because unlike Chrom, the sweet spot on F tilt is really, really particular. Whenever Right is F tilt, he's got the blade hitbox, he's got the hilt hitbox, but then he's got a body hitbox. And the body hitbox is actually the one that will generally kill people. Like here, if he had hit the hilt hitbox, Zero Suit wouldn't die, which can be really frustrating. It doesn't actually have a lot of range, but Tweek does a really good job landing it. Yes, it's hilt jab that's -9. I think the tip jab is like -11, -12, -12. Yeah. Also, this site, if anybody hasn't seen it, is ultimateframedata.com. It's godluck. Go use it. And the jump in here was like one of the few outright mistakes I see from Tweek. Like here, he should have disrespected the space, but if he could have set up falling forward there, it would have worked. But jumping in front of Zero Suit, and she's generally just going to react with the forward air. Yeah, F tilt and F smash is actually the same. F smash is the same. It's got like hand hitboxes. Like arm hitboxes really is that like the super sweet spot. The hilt still hits really hard with F smash. The difference between F tilt and F smash is that F smash hilt will still kill people. It's still got really strong knockback. It's just that the arm hitbox has even more knockback, whereas F tilt is like they nerfed hilt F tilt in this game from Smash 4, which kind of sucks. Do some of his moves? Okay, yeah, I didn't know if all of his moves have the 2 hitboxes for the sword, or if it's just the 1 blade hitbox. GED kills earlier than middle F smash. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Good strings. Yeah, he doesn't do anything fancy, but just like whenever he hits Mars, and he should be putting on damage, he generally puts on pretty solid damage. And look at this movement. This sort of movement is what like encapsulates his play. He's not moving fast. He's moving kind of slow, actually, but methodical. You see here, like, his reaction time whenever he's doing this sort of thing is really, really good. So he does the dash away and turn around here that he likes to do a lot, that he's done in Smash 4 Cloud over and over and over again. And when he's doing this, he's just looking to see what his opponent is doing. And at this point in time, he sees that Mars is doing the get up animation and reacts fast enough to run up shield grab. Sick. Nair strings are extremely happy. Yeah. They're very good stuff. So yeah, like you can see here, like he's a little awkward with the side B. Like he has a good call out on the side B. He hits him with the side B, but doesn't really understand how to like make it link where it would kill. Technically, it would kill here, but probably not this far out from the ledge, the stage. He'd probably need to be closer to the ledge. Maybe it's close. He has rage 70%, so it might kill. But his jab back airs are very clean. Again here, you see he's using the neutral air. He still doesn't hit, but he's using it in a situation where he's trying to intercept his opponent. Like he was trying to intercept his opponent if he didn't fade back with his air. If he got the deep sweet spot, yeah, but I don't think he would have gotten the deep sweet spot from that. Like falling down without moving towards the stage at all, they would have been pushed too far back to actually get the full sweet spot. Interesting that Zero Suit's Zaire didn't get grabbed. Is Zaire on board? That is 2 on shield? Christ. Okay, well, that makes sense why that didn't get shield grabbed then. Jesus Christ, that is safe. Yeah, and this is another interesting thing. This shield decision from him is really, really good. So, Mars does the cross-up forward air. And Roy technically has options he could respond with here to, like, press buttons. He could B out of shield. He could back air out of shield. He could jump and then, like, do something crazy, like falling forward air, falling up air to try and set up offense of his own. But Tweek doesn't do that. Tweek doesn't go crazy. He just goes, oh, well, you crossed up. He understands that he lost this interaction. So rather than trying to, like, force his hand and be like, blah, buttons, fight, and, like, do a back air and get punished on hit, or, like, do an up B and, like, potentially get exploded for it, he just drops shield and then runs away. He doesn't even roll away, because rolling away could get you punished. But, and like, see, Mars was shielding here. So if Tweek did, like, a back out of shield or an up out of shield, like, he would probably be dead. But he just disengages. He understands that the forward air cross-up is hard to punish, and rather than trying to punish it and getting put into a bad situation, he just back. And then turns around. Yep, got up out of shield. I feel like whenever Roy gets up to kill percent, that's when, like, up out of shield becomes much more threatening. It's anti here. Yeah, that was kind of an ill-conceived plan on the platform. Anytime that you use your double jump early like this, it's generally going to be pretty easy for your opponent to punish Roy. Some, like, other characters like Wario could... He might be doing this because Wario, honestly, Wario has, like, better weave game. So, like, from here, Wario could weave, like, all the way out there, or all the way out here. Like, the angles that he could go at is very, very big. Roy doesn't have great aerial mobility in the sense that he can't really change the direction he's going once he's going in that way very fast. So, like, as Roy, if you're jumping, like, right here, you're basically landing on this platform, and it's not hard to cover all that. So, this is a double jump. I respect the air dodge on the platform, just to get his double jump back. Just clean 1-2. Good combo here. So usually I would say that up air strings are better here, but back air does actually combo into neutral air, so that's still like 37 damage. So that's still good damage. You could squeak out a little bit more with falling up air, neutral air, but like it's like 10% more. It's not a big deal. Good weight on the down B. Good respect on the jabs. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I mean, especially because he's played so much Smash 4. Tweek understands that Nair into jab becomes a mix-up of when Zero Suit is going to stop. Because Nair cannot be shield grabbed if they jab. And any of the jabs themselves, if you try to shield grab in between them, and she just mashes jab, then you'll get caught. But any time that she stops, whether it be the end of the 3-jab combo, or any point in time, like she jabs and then just stops pressing a button, you can punish then. So now he just waited for the jab, and like would not be surprised if he just react to that. Honestly, if his reaction time is godlike, and just like saw that there wasn't another jab coming immediately afterwards, and then just snatched him up. Was Mars at 0 when the up air landed? Yes, he was at 0. Kind of a crazy neutral air, but it worked out. Good patience, good movement. Look at this neutral. Not afraid to give him space. Not afraid to run back a little bit. He gets jabbed. Not a big deal. It's in the corner. Maybe it's a big deal. Yeah, he lost a little bit of space here. So he may have played a little bit too safe. Honestly, this parry from Mars is really, really good. Up air falling like that is hella safe. But parry will turn it into an up B. So I would say that's more of a good play on Mars's part than like necessarily an air. Oh, and the jab to catch the jump. That was beautiful. This is an interesting thing that Tweek does. Whenever he lands the jab at high percents, he generally goes for just turnaround, full hop, backwards, up B, rather back air. Wow, not up B. Rather than dashing and then full hopping and back airing, which is interesting because this won't cover no DI, and certainly won't cover DI away. but it happens consistently anyways. So I don't know if it's him reacting to that or if it's him just like flow charting that instead, expecting his opponent to DI in because they're not expecting to get caught by a jab. Kind of an interesting thing. I think up air, their jab up air. I don't know if up air there is true. I don't think that's a thing. Went around during the set, they go to Pokemon Stadium, took this nair to shut up air when they could. I went for that. That's actually something that a lot of Roys have talked about a bit, is the idea of ending combos with up air instead of forward air. Or using up air instead of forward air. And I can go over it more in the situation whenever it comes up, but the general idea is that up air leads to a more advantageous situation. Runs the back air, gets that game, and the crowd goes wild. Yeah, so Tweek bans Battlefield, which makes sense. I agree with him banning Stadium as well. I don't like Stadium as Roy. I feel like Stadium is really beneficial for characters who want to be like want to disengage. And while that is like how Tweek's playing neutral a lot, it's hard for Roy to play like an aggressive game whenever his opponent has so much range. And it's really, really bad versus characters like Snake and Olimar who like run away all day. I also find it kind of difficult to finish people off sometimes. Like there's lots of situations where like if you win an engagement on your opponent, if you're not either dead center of the stage or near the edge of the stage and facing away towards that direction where the last one is closer, it's really hard to actually finish a stock off. Lots of situations where like your back is to a wall and you'll land an F smash or a side B or an F tilt or something. They get jab back here and they just won't die because there's so much stage for them to travel past. But Roy doesn't have good vertical kill options. Yeah, Stadium 1 is probably a little bit better because it's a little bit smaller. I don't necessarily auto ban it, but I generally don't go there game 1. And versus some characters, I will ban it. I think Kalos is worse, but I know some Roys have differing opinions on Kalos, so I won't say that as an absolute. I think personally Kalos is worse. This, however, is a great Roy stage. I think it's a mistake on Mars's part to take him to this stage. While the platforms do potentially give Zero Suit great avenues for like up air strings and stuff, and like getting caught on the top platform with like up B or like up air into up B could potentially really suck. This is one of Roy's best stages. Like just plain and simple. Like he's good at covering the platforms. The ledges actually I feel like help him out a little bit in covering ledge dough, which he isn't the best at covering. Well, Tweek has done an awesome job doing that. As long as your opponent mix up their timing, it's pretty difficult for Roy to like. He doesn't have great options for catching them on the way up of the jump, and he doesn't have great options for intercepting them whenever they're high. So like the ledge being a little bit lower makes it a little bit easier to intercept that. And the top platform is a little bit easier to reach than Battlefield. Battlefield, like top platform camping, can be kind of obnoxious for Roy. And then, of course, the stage is very, very small, so he will be killing people pretty early. Side B at the ledge of the stage is death sentence. Zero Suit user doesn't love Kalos either. Yeah. So it's interesting here because Mars, I feel like Zero Suit doesn't do great on the stages that Roy's generally bad at. Like, I can't see Zero Suit taking him to Kalos. He doesn't really have many great stages left, I guess, with Battlefield and Stadium gone. I don't know what was all legal at GOML. I don't know what stage list they were using, but I feel like this is not a great choice. It's interesting that Tweek didn't counterpick here himself, but I love this stages, right? Like this stage or Smashville, I think are right best stages. Yep. There, 2 airs, good up air coverage. Damage. Yeah, like on this stage, like he's legitimately at kill percent, like right now. He could die at the ledge. Good up air. So here's the thing I always tell people. You always want to land before your opponent whenever you're juggling them. And this is a great example of that, where he's up airing, and that he's like dragging the up air above him on his way down, rather than like jumping up and then rising above his opponent afterwards. Really good platform pressure. Whoa, check out this interaction. This is interesting. So, Mars gets the cross up. Last time he got the cross up, he just sat in shield, which he decides to do again. So Tweek, once again, instead of doing back air up, yet a shield, actually just drop shield and turn around jabs, which is a pretty ballsy out of shield option, honestly. Jab is a frame 5 option, but dropping shield takes 11 frames, which this is like one of the slowest options you could potentially pick. But Mars does actually get to punish the forward air here. I don't know if it's because he's that close or because if he just timed it properly this time. FD is a choice. Yeah, I don't know if you necessarily want FD though. I don't know if it's a good idea. Maybe a better idea than this one. But I also know some Roys like FD. I don't know. Tweek's Roy is a little bit different, so. Yep, content to dash back, fighting for the space afterwards. Oof. This actually was a big mistake on Mars's part. Well, it was a big mistake, but he got the kill anyways. So, one of the weaknesses of Roy is that if he does not have a double jump and he gets hit, he's in deep doo-doo. It is very hard for him to avoid offstage edgeguarding if that happens. But I guess I don't know what Mars was expecting here. This was kind of a weird side B. You got to kill eventually anyways, but that was awkward. He definitely like made a pretty big mistake and then like we'll fix that real quick. Yeah, I would say it's better than this. It's better than counterpicking one of Roy's, if not Roy's best stage for sure. Another interesting thing, these percents. Tweek understands that this percent you can still combo with back air. It still like technically comes out faster than forward air, but because of the distance here, it can be tricky sometimes to like get the right spaced back air. So forward air here is actually easier and still gets the kill. So understanding when to use forward air versus back air is another thing that Tweek is showing here that he's really good at. Wild with forward air, but it's okay. Not a huge punish. Patience. Intercepting with the neutral air once again. You see here, catching him on the run back. Good punish. Yeah, side B is actually really unsafe. It's got a lot. That was a true punish. Like he did not have time to shield there. And yeah, so this is one thing that Roy has huge over Wario. This is exactly what I was talking about, where like Zero Suit jumps, and she's going to be doing one of two things if she's jumping at you. She's going to do short hopping at you specifically. She's going to be doing one of three things. Let's say she's going to be doing a rising forward air, short hopping and then falling with neutral air, or short hopping and then falling back with Zair. So Roy having this option to be like, oh, you're jumping at me, well, I will cut you, is a thing that Wario is not going to be as good at. And Roy, yeah, so you see here, he gets like the Nair up air. Now, this is a situation where I think it's debatable which one is better between Nair up air and Nair forward air. I feel like he goes for up air here just because he got a really deep neutral air. So like usually whenever you're doing neutral air to forward air combos, your opponent is going to be like yay far away from you. Which means so you can get the dash and then jump for the forward air and catch here. Whereas here he's like directly above Tweek. So here it's difficult to land the forward air with enough momentum going forward that you can still combo afterwards. So here I think the up air definitely makes sense. Like it's the proper choice. I saw the staging for split second thought, why are you playing him? Playing PM. Nope. We are analyzing ultimate. Stage still godlike. Welcome to the stream, Neptune. How's it going? I'm a little less sick now, so maybe we can actually get games on sometime. Again, neutral air to intercept. Falling up to catch the landing. Tilt. So this, I think... Excuse me. I know this is all stuffed up. Is a little bit of a misplay on his part as far as coverage of down tilt projectiles goes. Off of this, Roy can do a very similar thing to Fox soft neutral air, and I was just talking about this to Magma a little bit ago. So Fox is the thing with soft hit neutral air, where off the tech chase he can run up, and then he'll run in, and then he'll just dash up smash. And if the opponent techs in place, then Fox pushes him with the dash up smash because the collision works in the game. Similar thing where if the opponent doesn't tech, they get pushed and then he gets up smashed. And then if the opponent teched away, then you're dashing into them and up smashing them. So the only way that you avoid this setup, it becomes a literal 50-50 between, am I going to tech in towards the center of the stage, or am I going to do literally anything else, because dash up smash covers every other option. Or I can do a similar thing with sliding F tilt. So right here, rather than running in and stopping, I think it's best to well running in and stopping is okay if you're trying to bait the tech in. But here instead you could go for sliding F tilt, or if you want to be extra beefy and really want to put the hurt at him, you can do sliding F smash. Sliding F smash might not necessarily catch the sweet spot on roll away, because Roy's sweet spotting is finicky. He doesn't slide super far on sliding F smash, nowhere near as far as sliding F tilt. But it's still a great option to turn this into a 50-50 where you like almost guarantee, like you cover so many things. There's a reason why Foxes land that all day, and it's not because it's super hard. Whereas like trying to react away, you see he's too far away to really react to it. He gets forwarded. I think he just has to run in jab. What he's doing. Not sure what he's trying to do. He's got clipped. Beasley, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. A little bit of boxing. This matchup is fun. Even if, regardless of like whether, oh, wow, that is ballsy. Regardless of like who wins or loses the matchup, like it's a fun matchup. Zero Suit likes to, like Roy and Zero Suit interact pretty well. Okay, so we actually just missed with the back air. The jab caught him afterwards. Tried to cover the down B, gets stomped on for it. Interesting. I wonder if he was going to cross up with this neutral air. Doesn't look like it, but curious why the up B didn't connect properly. It was almost a cross up. If he had waited for him to land and then up beat, it probably would have connected better, because he would have been like pushed in front of him. But yeah, Nair 1 on shield, not actually safe. That will get punished. Zero Suit up smash on shield. It's definitely not safe, but how unsafe is it? Minus 17. Okay, so it's not super bad. So no drop shield smash attacks. He could have up smash. Up smash would probably be the proper choice, but Roy up smash isn't very reliable, so I don't blame him for going for the grab. Easy 1-2. Jab forward air, not going to kill from center stage. I don't know if back air would have killed here. Would have been close for sure. But this is definitely getting into the percents where like back air might not combo. Safe back air. Yeah. So with his that's worth noting. With Zero Suit's back turn to us, her back air does not hit. So if she wants to punish the jab, she has to commit to the up B. And this is what I'm talking about with forward tilt, man. That is not a sweet spot forward tilt. Is that even a hilt forward tilt? Let's open up a new tab for right, because we're going to be referencing a lot of things here. I'm pretty sure hilt F tilt does like 12 damage. Ugh. Nope, I was wrong. It only does 9 damage. Yikes. And see, this is a good example of why the F tilt doesn't kill whenever it's the hilt. It does 3% less than the hilt, the arm hitbox F tilt. When should Roy edge guard over ledge trapping? Rarely. He mostly should be ledge trapping. You only really want to edge guard with Roy in situations where your opponent either one is in a good position for you to do like drop zone forward air. If they're like right around this space, then you can drop with the forward air, and they can't react to it. They have to either already be edge guarding or already doing some other option to get around that. Or if they have used a lot of their resources and they don't have many other options. There are some situations where you can basically just put a hitbox in the right place and your opponent can't survive. That'll happen in right dittos a lot whenever you hit them really far away, and then they have to like air dodge, double jump, and then up B. So you want to look for situations that you can force your opponent to basically like move into your hitboxes, that they have no other option except to do that or die off stage. And those situations don't happen a lot. It happens more than Smash 4, because Smash 4 characters had godlike recoveries. But it still doesn't happen a lot in this game. In general, like right here, Tweek could be going off stage and getting himself killed. Instead, he's ledge trapping. That stomp berry lasts so long. Well, trapping Zero Suit's pretty hard though. But edge guarding her is like even harder, so it's not. That was cute. For jabs. It's interesting that so Tweek is fishing for kills this entire time, but he's still playing pretty safe. Interesting. Especially whenever your opponent's like down, like right here. Roy's if it's outside of the range where Roy is just bare, like where Roy will do drops on forward airs, he's really bad at covering that space. So if your opponent can get into position where they can come up from below the ledge, he generally just has to respect it. Yeah, it's like the same as roller. It's kind of nuts. That was an interesting bait on Mars's part. Side B not safe. Let's reference the numbers. Side B is minus 15 on shield. I wonder if that's the tip though. It's probably less damage in the middle of it, so less shield stun, so more unsafe. No, all the berries do not have different. They do not have the same amount of stun. All the berries are different. Just like knockback of a move, like they have different berry times depending on percent. So this is one thing that's really important, is right that he does kind of fix later on, but right here he does not apply it 100% perfectly. At 0% like this, where I can get neutral air on a lot of characters, but you need to do short hop neutral air forward. If you do neutral air in place, like if you do like straight up jump neutral air in place, even if you're drifting forward after, then the neutral air will whiff on DI forward, DI away from you. So you but if you just short hop and then neutral air, sorry, it doesn't even need to be jumping forward, it just needs to be drift forward. As long as you're drifting forward like as soon as possible after you start the short neutral air, it covers both DI in and DI away, and then you can combo after it. Definitely more unsafe than minus. Yeah, because he did like drop shield F tilt, which is like a frame 16 response. Frame 19 response? Roy F tilt hits on frame 8? Yeah, frame 19 response. Definitely more than minus 15. But yeah, anyone who's starting to combo people with Roy, take note of that. You always want to do neutral air drift forward. Drift forward as hard as possible. Does she have frame 2 air dodge? She might have frame 2 air dodge. Okay. It doesn't say what. Do you know what frame flip kick is intangible on off the top of your head, Ryan? Because she might be able to down B out of it, honestly. Roll neutral air dodge. Yeah, she has a frame 2 air dodge too, so she actually can air dodge through down throw neutral air. So it's not a true combo on Zero Suit, but for the characters that it does work out. And it'll sometimes work on characters with frame 2 air dodges anyways, because matching air dodge after right down throws you at 0% is kind of scary. Like, Roy can do bad things to you if you don't do it properly. And against some characters, Roy can actually like down throw neutral air and then just like slow fall with the neutral air and just cover them with the neutral air itself and still hit them on the way down. Or like do things like re-grab them. Things along those lines. So it's still not like a perfect response to it. And I'm sure this is something that Mars doesn't know. Don't know if it's different in this game, unfortunately, but I can test in a moment. Okay, that'd be cool. Not a huge deal, but I'm curious. Back air wouldn't kill here yet, so I don't mind the forward air. Neutral air would do more damage, so perfectly optimized. Jab neutral air B. Go for it. That's a little awkward because his opponent was off stage. Ice falling forward air. So this is so crucial. Sorry, 1 second. A lot of situations in neutral with Roy are going to be situations like this, where you're not just approaching your opponent, you are beating what it is that they're trying to do. So here, like, whenever Tweek is standing at this position, a great option for Zero Suit is to short hop up and then fall with back air to poke safely at this spot. Like it's very difficult to beat the back air from this position. So Tweek doesn't completely leave, but what he does is full hop up so that he can fall down on top of this. So he's using the falling forward air, full hop falling forward air, to beat this jab Sorry, this spaced back air. He's not using it, again, to approach. But to beat his opponent's approach. His opponent's poke, really. It's not even really approach. Good coverage. Jab. Very fast match. Very. Up air actually got beaten here. So he did the full hop, the double jump forward air into up air. No, he did back air this time. I wonder if up air would have worked. Probably not. Yeah, it'd be like he probably would have got back aired out of this still, but it would have been a lot closer for sure. What is the frame data website called again? It is ultimateframedata. Oh, you can. I see. You can see the URL. It's ultimateframedata.com. That simple. ultimateframedata.com. Highly recommend bookmarking that. Good coverage of center stage. Not going too crazy, not chasing his opponent too far into the corner. Holding ledge, patient ledge trapping, and then, yeah. This is a big thing. Anytime Mars makes any big mistakes, Tweek is really good at just reacting and killing him for it. Like, dash out there. Oh, I see my opponent is missing a down B, so I will dash back in, and then kill him. Really, really good neutral play. Yeah, let's look at this again. Look at it. Dash back, and then boop. Back, and yeah, he goes back to Yoshi's story, which, again, I don't know if that was a great idea. What did Tweek ban? Do we see his bans? Nope, just going right back. I mean, that last game was close, so it's not like the stage counterpick like worked really hard against him. And Tweek isn't getting super low % kills or anything like that. Like, he's not getting side Bs that absurd percents. This is something that Tweek does consistently, which is kind of weird. Don't know if I necessarily agree with it. Where he up throws at 0%. Now, right down throw. So Zero Suit is a character who can air dodge out of the down throw neutral air. So Roy doesn't get a huge reward of down throw at 0%. But even like down throw up air doesn't lead to a great situation afterwards, where I can't really combo, and it's like he has to like play defensive because his opponent can drop on him with a shield. Like his advantage after landing the up air is kind of weak. But I still think that situation is better than up throwing here, because it's still the same thing. And like I'm tempted to say that like, oh, this is a misinput, like he clearly didn't mean to up throw here, but he does it a few more times in the next set as well. So either he misinputted consistently at exactly 0% with his throws. I don't know if Wario should be up throwing instead. That's happening. Or he's trying to do something weird. And some of his up throws work out a little bit better, because up throwing onto the platform is actually kind of cool and leads to some like Roy just covers the entire platform with up air and basically gets a guaranteed up air anyways. But in this position, I think the up air is just a bad idea. Up throw, rather. Up throw is just a bad idea. Yeah, like, and if you want to lead to like a little bit better advantage state, you could always just do like down throw jab if they didn't DI away, or like down throw F tilt or up tilt. Yeah, I highly doubt he's consistently misinputting, because it's Tweek. He's God. But it might be like a thing where like muscle memory is screwing him up or something like that. He just doesn't understand the proper way to excuse me, the proper thing he should be going for. It's really annoying because like my nose is congested and it's like obnoxious because I feel it like affecting my voice, but it's not really doing anything else. It's falling forward airs to intercept. Just a little bit too hard there. Although like, the idea of the falling up air at the end was good. It just was a little mistimed. Note that Tweek does not use short, ledge hop neutral air whenever it doesn't actually reach. So he, rather than going for ledge hop neutral air at a position where it could potentially reach, and getting back aired and dying, he's going for ledge jump forward air. He still gets hit, but he lives. Like taking that damage for getting stage control back isn't a big deal. Interesting that the DI away here on the neutral air actually does not get him. That's worth noting. Down to a little safe on shield. Okay, not so safe on shield. Gonna have to run away. interesting. I expect on this run in shield that Mars is expecting a run in down tilt. Which is why Tweek was able to run in shield and get the grab. He's definitely waiting for him to like press a button. That's worth noting. Roy actually goes pretty low in his dash animation, which makes him harder to hit with moves like Zero Suit forward air. Wario up there does stuff right? I think it does. I have very little knowledge of Wario in Smash Ultimate. So. Good patience, understanding that his opponent and it's especially important against Zero Suit. Like, what does Zero Suit do if you just hold shield against her? Like she does dropping neutral air on your shield, and you're like, oh, okay, she's got pressure. What's she gonna do with that pressure? Like, what's the worst thing that could happen if you just hold shield? Like, it's actually a smart play from Tweek. Like, he could turn around and grab Tweek and then like back throw him, but as long as Tweek DIs away from the back throw, or like doesn't pick a dumb option off of forward throw, he's not gonna have something bad happen to him. It's gonna be like 6%. So just waiting for the right time. Playing patient on defense. Not doing anything dumb. No, like that's one of the biggest things. One of the biggest reasons why his fundamental play is so strong. He's just not doing anything dumb. He's just doing everything he does is smart. He gets caught here a little bit. It's usually good to like forward air so you have better aerial control, but he does get caught by the Zero Suit side. We're up there, murders people. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I mean, he's not afraid to go for these situations where like technically his jab is unsafe, but like again, risk reward. Like the reward, he hits the jab, he gets the kill. The risk, he gets like forward air to upbeat out of shield. Like, it's a huge risk. It's worth taking that risk in that situation, especially because it worked. Falling forward air, gonna combo. That was interesting. They did rising up air instead of rising neutral air. I feel like most Rise would do nair here. With the up air, I don't think it was actually safe because he did it rising instead of like falling. Yeah, the Mars does drop shield up smash instead of just up smash directly out of shield, which may have been a misinput on his part. Up smash, unless up smash is hella slow, which I don't think it is. It's frame 10, so yeah, I think he just accidentally dropped shield up smashed, which is not a very fast response. Boxing a little bit. Parry on the forward air. The match is still close. Like, this could definitely go either way. I think this was the right idea on Mars's part. Go for the throat right here. I think he would have had to go for the kick to the right though, which obviously like will probably give Tweek the opportunity to tech, but this down B kick just is not going to hit Tweek. It's just not in the right spot. He would have had to be further like he would have had to have down B down here below the ledge instead of up here. Right here is not going to beat the angle of raise up B. Good ledge trapping. I like the up air here to try and cover jump, but good patience on shield. The side B was kind of questionable, but yo, drop shield to parry the final hit. Is that a thing? Yep, and again, clean jab back air. I think there's only been one situation where he could have potentially gotten the jab back air with the kill, and it didn't work. And even then, it's questionable whether or not the jab back air would have killed. Like, he's had an extremely high success ratio on his jab back airs. Rage will actually stop down throw neutral air from working, which is why it doesn't work here. Once you have like, if you have like 60-ish rage, it usually still works. But yeah, like at around 110% rage, I wouldn't expect it to work. Oh yeah, that's a juicy falling there. Oh man, I get buried again. It's so scary. Like, you have to respect that so much. It'll kill you so hard. She comes mix up because she can hold type B to drag you up if they see you pair. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that actually extended the hitboxes. Or like created another hitbox at the end. I thought it just changed the last hitbox. That's good to know. Yeah, note the shield here. This is actually important. Because Zero Suit could wall jump and then down B and then try to bury you here. But if you can't shield, she can't bury you. So there's good data for it. Yeah, that'd be nice. But data like that is hard to find. It's like, it's hard to compile like and get that data. Becker could have potentially worked here, but I don't blame him for not going for it. I imagine he didn't expect the narrow jab to actually work, but it did. So I like the bait at least. And he's got a pretty solid lead. He shouldn't be desperate here to just seal the game out. In fact, playing it relatively safe. And these situations, he's just so good at creating these situations where he just like, he runs into Mars's face. And it's like, yo, what you gonna do? You gonna grab me? You gonna whiff a grab and get killed? Huh? You gonna up you out of shield and get killed? You gonna press a button and get jabbed? His pressure from doing very little is really strong. Jab forward there. This actually could have been punishable. Roy F tilt on shield is actually pretty unsafe. It's minus 13. So it could be forward air or up beat. Yeah, she has a frame 2 neutral air. Sorry, frame 2 neutral air dodge, so even if he didn't have rage, technically it's not a combo. But as we mentioned earlier, there are ways to still create an advantageous situation out of that for Roy. So it's still not. And again, something Mars probably doesn't know, which you talked about earlier. So that is the end of set 1. Tweeks Roy coming through to sweep. And then we have set 2 grand finals. So first game of this one, they go to Stadium, which is kind of interesting to me because Tweek banned Stadium earlier in the winner finals set whenever he was switching to Roy. Let's see how this stage works out. Touch trapping. Oh, so clean. Look at this. The reaction. Like, he does the up air, which will like, if Mars jumps and then like holds in super hard, he's gonna get tipped by that up air and it's gonna create like a scramble situation. But then get up in place is much slower. So here Tweek has time to react and just turn around and snatch him up. Like, that is so clean. Another jab. Yeah. If you do, yeah, on DI out, doppler jab doesn't sweet spot. Yeah, against characters that have 2 frame air dodge, Roy either needs to go for up tilt F tilt versus the DI in or DI out respectively, or he just needs to up air. Look at this. This is so clean. Right here, like a situation where, like a scramble situation like this, a lot of times in a situation like this, your opponent is going to be flustered and going to be like, buttons, attack, like fight back, get them off me. And so the way you beat that is you just make it look like you're doing something by like short hopping like this and then just staying outside their attack range and then punishing them. Good patient neutral, not even fast dash dancing, just, you know, dash back, dash in, down tilt. It's a questionable jab on Mars's part. Ouch, that's hurt. That's the only thing that really scares me with Zero Suit, like getting caught by those falling neutral airs like that. And the down B berry. Down B berry. Edgeguarding is going to be kind of painful, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like this stage as Roy also, is because lots of situations where, like, so I mentioned, you know, whenever you get hit like at center stage or past center stage, you're generally not going to kill your opponent, right? But other characters that are better off stage than Roy can still finish their opponent off by intercepting off stage, but Roy's not very good at intercepting off stage versus most characters, so he will generally die at lower percent. Like, he got back aired here at like 80%, 75%, and then he died for it. Which Roy usually can't make happen against most characters. It's much safer for Zero Suit to run off stage in side B than it is for Roy to run off stage in forward air, and she can cover more with him. Sliding forward tilt though. Catching them dash backs. He's really good at just seeing where Mars is going to try to be. Do not know about that grab. That was weird. Yeah, so see, he up throws here again, which I guess is just a Wario thing. And his down throw neutral air didn't work earlier. That was more because of rage. Patience could parry on Mars's part. Really good parries. That is the one downside of this of Roy like falling aerials. Roy falling forward air, Roy falling up air are hella safe. -4 and -4 up in like the high. They're in the highest echelons of like aerial safety. However, they have a lot of. It shows your hand early with how you're moving. So like against opponents who know what they're doing, they can see you jump like this, and they already know at this point in time that the up air is coming, because that's just what Roy should do. Like from here, he should fall and he should up air to cover all this space. So at this point in time, as soon as he misses the up air, Mars knows that he can go for a parry here. And same thing right here. Like it's literally the exact same situation. He jumped up, and as soon as Tweek is in like this position, he sees that Tweek isn't holding in, so he's not going to land on the platform. He knows with 100% certainty that Tweek is going to be falling with up air, which makes it not difficult to parry. At that point in time, it's just an execution thing. Execution is not hard. That is the counterplay to it. Well, one of the ways you can counterplay that sort of situation, like what Tweek does here, rather than falling with forward air, he lands and then tries to grab. But this is actually a situation where he probably should have just forward aired, honestly, because he's still in the end lag of the neutral B. He's trying to like one up his opponent parrying him rather than he's a little bit too focused on like outplaying the parry in that situation. Okay, but now going back to good neutral, controlling center stage. A little bit by the pressure, not a huge deal. Falling forward airs, controlling the platform. Looking for situations. Yeah, and like this situation's like this. It's really crucial to point out. Whenever Tweek is jumping like this, and so he's jumping with these full hops in the situation here in neutral at center stage. To try to set up a punish on Mars approaching in certain ways. So if Mars had like had done the situation where this is a little bit far spacing out for like him trying to set up for a back air poke, but if he had tried to set up for a back air poke here, this forward air would beat it clean. So like jumping like this, falling, seeing that his opponent isn't falling for that situation, isn't doing what he expected, and then not forward airing and just landing neutral and then going back to dash dancing. So that's like it's a little bait that he put out, and he reeled it in. He didn't get anything, so he didn't go crazy afterwards. He's like, okay, we move back and we set up another position. What's the counterplay for someone OSing a punish out of shield parry? The shield drop has a lot of end lag to it. Shield drop takes 11 frames in this game, so if they're in that situation where Roy is falling, where he should be up airing, and then like they drop shield to parry it, and then they don't parry, Roy should be able to land and turn around and like poke at them. It won't necessarily be a true punish, but he should be able to act faster than his opponent does. And especially if he can be in a situation where like if he's doing forward air, and like if he drops down like he's going to forward air and his opponent tries to parry, and then you land and then shield, a lot of times the things that your opponent is going to be doing to try to OS punish the parry with the parry are going to be unsafe on shield. So then you grab, then you up B, then you narrow the shield. With time shield drop, F tilts to parry aerials, but if no aerial, then punish land, threatening it. F tilt is unsafe. Mario F tilt is really unsafe. Let us check the Bible to see exactly how unsafe. -13 on shield. So as Zero Suit, that's a free upbeat. Hey, Rollin.
The dungeon awaits.
Appreciate the resub. Welcome back to the Fire Nation. One sub to 36. Yeah. The fact that this Ultimate Frame Data page is viewable on as an app, and I think it's an app. Maybe it's not an app. Maybe it's just mobile viewable. But the fact that you can look at it on mobile is so cool. Very helpful. Yeah, if you want to be extra cheeky, you can like empty hop into grab, but generally just like empty hop into poking or empty hop into shielding, and then punishing what they do to try to like OS the punish is gonna be good. Like a lot of times whenever I'm I'm trying to parry something, I'll like input, no, I'll drop shield F tilt. And then, you know, if it parried them, sweet, I F tilt them and they explode. But F tilt is actually unsafe on shield, similarly to Mario F tilt. I shouldn't get away with just throwing out F tilt on my shield. That's kind of interesting. Slight Mars favor in this game so far. An up smash is gonna get sort of punished. I feel like he might have been able to get up here. He's got a lot of rage, so he did go much higher than usual. So maybe this isn't a true combo situation, but it would have been close. I probably would have won for it. Pretty hard for Zoo. Like, if he had better stage control, he might have been able to, like, sniff out the down B a little bit better, but there's so much space that Mars can give up here that it's pretty hard to cover that. Nice run. Jab. Oh, doesn't get the sweet spot, though. Yeah, so this is one of the ones where you have to run in deep. And he does do dash, reverse air, rush, back air, but this should be like an attack cancel back air. Like, he probably shouldn't even full out this. Just be short out. Landing the back air after the jab can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But that time he is much deeper in, and he was DIing in as well, so the full hop back air works really well. And he sold the lead too. He got the kill before Mars did. Jabbed him at 87%. X. Good patience. Oh yeah, so like this situation here, so many people would freak out here and be like, oh, they back aired my shield, so now I must do something. They technically don't get a free punish on if I do something. But then they get caught by the second back air and they die. The little hesitation here before he jumps out of shield is so important. And again, like, what's Sirius gonna do? Gonna grab you through off stage? It'll be fine. Okay, it is an app. Nice, nice. Okay, he got grabbed here. He does die. Okay, interesting. I wonder if he would survive if he DI'd this correctly. I don't know how true of a throw kill setup this is. If that is true, that's kind of scary. Grabbed at 150%. If so, her grab is a little bit more threatening than I expect. Still not super threatening because, you know, grabbed at 150. But something you should respect at those percents then. Patient playing neutral. Not invading his space a lot, just trying to control the space he can move into. Using these full hops to like slip in ways that Mars isn't expecting. Oh, that pivot grab. Beautiful. This actually is interesting. It feels like this feels much further away than DI away off of down throw usually is. I wonder if this is some combination of like down and away, or usually just away is what the DI will be. And usually Roy would get, I feel like Roy usually gets combos at this percent. Maybe he doesn't get forward air this high. Maybe full hop neutral air is what it would have to be. But I feel like he should get a combo here. Maybe like run up short up air. It's interesting to me here that he didn't get the combo. What of it is incorrect, Turquoise? Because that's actually very interesting to me. I know I've heard that some of the frame data isn't like perfect, but I don't know what about it is off. As far as I understand it, this is going off of the spreadsheet of frame data that I've also referenced in the past on my stream, but I haven't seen any other reference for what Roy frame data. Down tilt is -3 instead of -4. Damn, that's sick. Is it so? I know Kurigana Hammer has said that some of the frame data from this is a little bit incorrect. Is he the one who disproved that? I'm wondering what the source is on that information for down tilt being -3 instead of. What do you mean not sick? That's super sick. -3 on block on like a grounded move is like, that's insane. Good strings. Seriously not gonna be able to get better in this game. -3 is extremely safe. How do you move fast with right? I mean, it's just a matter of using your movement properly. Like, Tweek isn't really moving fast here. He's like, his dashes aren't like as fast as possible back and forth. But his decision making is really, really strong. Not sick for you for sure, yeah. I proved it, the Google Doc doesn't account for freshness bonus. Okay. Interesting. Right, yeah. So a lot of things are probably off by like a frame or so. Not a huge difference. And a lot of frame data for Smash isn't going to be exact science anyways. So like the ballpark is still a good idea. That's good to know still. Both the ballpark of the frame data and that it's just a slightly bit off. So I'd be definitely not going to kill cross stage. Patience on the ledge trapping. Searching for its jabs. Interesting. And coverage there. First supposed gives a 0.02, 0.2 damage per play. Right, yeah. Shoutouts to Staling being off by default in training mode. Spacing, and this is a good up air. Like go up smash for this part. Tweek generally, whenever he's been on a platform, has been using that to run forward and do stuff. Hasn't been falling through it too much. So this is a pretty safe call. While this could have gotten him killed, like if he had just dropped instead, Tweek could like dash attack or like run up smash and potentially kill. Sure, if he would kill it, it'd be close. F smash would definitely kill. But again, pretty safe bet since Tweek's been running off platforms pretty consistently. Some good music, yes, thank you. So he bans, let's say, Town and City and FT. Takes it back to Stadium. That's interesting. Wonder why he went back to Stadium. Was a close game. Okay, yeah, you see here he's just the neutral air properly here, where you see him drifting in afterwards. Again, Zero Suit could technically air dodge out of it, but still a scary position where she can like get her air dodge like punished. And Mars, again, probably does not know. Not a mod for Leffen. I'm a mod for Leffen and Lab in his chat with others, posting my stuff there. Already have a full Roy frame advantage on shield list that's fully accurate. I mean, if it's just like one number off, then it's not a huge deal. It's still like a really good reference to have that. To have the ultimate smash, ultimate frame data. If it was like, you know, off by 3 or more, then that'd be a huge deal. But, and maybe it is off by that much more for some things. Yeah, it isn't a huge deal. And what if it's the moves that do more damage, like F smash, are probably more off. But it's probably not a huge deal. Again, good. Well, like you see here, like so many people like I feel overthink about like, oh well, if Zero Suit is going to do neutral air forward air on my shield. How do I punish this? I need to punish this somehow. You don't need to punish it. Like he tries to like poke back at him right here, which is fine. But it's also fine to just like let them do it and then just be safe afterwards and get back into a better position. Him actually trying to poke back afterwards got him punished. Whereas a lot of other situations where he's just been like, okay, you crossed me up, that's fine, I'm just gonna move away, and then like re-engage is generally a better option. I don't know what happens here. This was weird. I think he thought he was gonna get, so he's actually in side B animation there? Maybe he tried to jump side B and then pressed it too quick and didn't get his jump. He's probably trying to jump side B to like trump him as fast as humanly possible, maybe? It's only paused by one frame on a few moves. Yeah, that's not a big deal then. Did you see that combo Shoyo James did to Cosmos? I'm not sure. Probably not. You could try to be reverse down being missed. Maybe, that's possible. Yeah, this is a nice thing that that Roy has over Crom. Is if Roy got a jab at like 7% like that, like Crom wouldn't necessarily get a combo because they get pushed farther away from the jab. Excuse me, as also it's done. Side B might work at 7, but at 0 it doesn't. But he used side B, not down B. I mean, he could have got the side B from the misinput from trying to down B, but that was a side B innovation that he was dying in. After the first side B. Good patience and shield. Good down smash from Mars. He's been tucking in a lot off of this situation, I guess, which is a little strange to me. I don't know that there's too much Zero Suit can cover if you just roll away. Like, he's definitely not going to have time to run in and down smash your... Like, he could like run in dash attack or run in dash grab the roll away, but rolling in seems really dangerous here. But he didn't down B. He's just saying he tried to be reverse down B and got side B instead. Because that's what I said originally. Or at least I said to jump. No, never mind, whatever. It's we're trying to say the same thing. Yeah, back air doesn't quite kill yet. So important. Like, this is one of the reasons I don't like Stadium. It's so important where you hit them with the jab. Like, jab from right here would absolutely have killed him with that percent. Jab from right here doesn't. And now he's being pushed up into the percents where like jab back air stops working. Yep. Racking up damage, getting the ledge trapping. Still pretty far in the lead, so it's okay for Mars to survive 5% this time. Might be able to up smash the roll away. Would up smash kill it 100%? He probably could up smash the roll away. I wouldn't expect that to kill at that percent, but I also am not Tweek, so maybe he knows better than me. Shoutouts to cough drops. Yep, what did he try to punish here? Oh, he thought he was going to land on the ledge. If he had gotten the F smash here, that would have been scary, but not sure if worth the risk. Because he wouldn't have died. He would have just been pushed pretty far off stage, potentially edgeguarded afterwards. The bot man, how's it going? This is not my Roy, this is Tweek's Roy. Yeah, like right here. I guess he was expecting this to not actually... I don't know if he's expecting this to not punish the dash grab, or if he thought up air into grab would work, or what. Definitely could have got a lot of damage off of it. He would not kill it with armor, but it's actually very strong. Okay. One of the best Roy on the planet. I think that is verifiably false, but I appreciate the vote of confidence. At least at the moment. Like, if I worked at it more, that could potentially be true, but not right now. Good tech, good up air punish. Yeah, the up B there. So up forward air would well, if it's one frame better than what it is on this spreadsheet, it'd actually be -3, which means Zero Suit up B would not true punish the falling forward air. Falling forward air shield should be safe as long as your forward air is fresh. On some damage, nice. F tilt. Tweek's just placement of moves is just really, really strong. Like, seeing that he's crafting him up, so using the F tilt there. Seeing, like, using the waveland out of the platform just to cover all this space up here, and then Using that to, like, this is like the absolute maximum distance that Roy can cover, like that high up. Like he can cover like down like a little bit lower, but like once you get like down here, if he double jumped and forward aired out here, like even here he's gonna be like dangerously close to not making it back. Like that is the like, like max distance Roy can be going. But a very, very well placed forward air.
A timely
Hey,
the dungeon awaits.
appreciate the resub, AJ. Still need to fix my font. Actually, like it's cutting out some of the mess. 8 months now, nice. I think you're one of the the longest subbed people on this now. That is up now for our work guides up. We're around 36. So it is actually I've changed a little bit how the sub counter is working. It's I'm not having it track the current number of subs, but more so going up anytime I do get a sub, because I want to get this sub goal met. So I'm relatively low on subs at the moment because I haven't been streaming a ton lately. But yeah, we're actually getting pretty close to the goal. It jumped up pretty quickly in the past week. So yeah, counterpicks to Yoshi's Story, which I think is a great counterpick. Did he keep the bands the same? I think they show it again. Yeah, that's our Tweek one, and then Mars goes back to Yoshi's Story, which is interesting because he lost all the games on Yoshi's Story last set. Very excellent punish too. Doesn't get a combo off of it, but like could potentially lead into stuff. Very nice drop through up air. Not actually like a true block string, because there's a little bit of delay before you can fall through the platform, but knows that Tweek is going to respect the neutral air. So let's do you make. Advanced speed to count the number of frames that the disable life Roy is. Okay, so full hop and short hop do make a difference as well. Interesting. That makes sense, considering they do more damage with the full hop version. Up to -2, you have to -13, jab -9. Yeah, so a lot of it is accurate. Some of them are just off by like 1 or 2. 1, really. Because I'm sure this also isn't taking into consideration the full hop. This frame data. Yeah, getting back thrown here, not a big. Wow, just kidding. That was a big deal. He could have potentially died from that, honestly. I think Mars. Well, Mars made a huge play. Like this is a kind of risky thing to do. Not that he's really gonna die for it. He's here, so he's got a good recovery. But if he had, I don't know if he could have. I feel like he's. If he could have double jump forward aired here instead, we could probably be dead. But he didn't get it to happen. Scary position regardless. Like that's the sort of stuff where like when you roar off stage and you're like, oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Yeah, I'm like getting the down tilt like this. Like he Sour Spot's down tilt, so he doesn't get a great situation off of it. But rather try. This is a situation where me myself, I would probably run in and try to press more buttons. But instead, and like I imagine most other Rays would as well. But instead he dashes in, realizes by this point in time that he didn't sweet spot, so he's not going to get like a good tech chase off of it or anything like that. So instead of going for something that could potentially be like getting punished, he just dashes in and then dashes away instead. And then whenever his opponent tries to push a button, after he's doing his dash away turnaround, it's very easy for him to say, oh, look, he tried to forward air and then completely missed, like a fool, and then just reacts by pressing the big green button and cashing in a combo. Oh, does the Google Duck one only use full hop damage? Interesting. Dodge. Really good. Yeah, this is something that's a little bit scary that Roy has to look out for. Rising forward from 0 speed here is a threat. But he could do it instead here to combat this. So like you can see here, especially in like the still frame that I've paused at right here, Mars is going really, really low to set up for this rising forward air. So the counterplay to this on Roy's part is just go high instead. Double jump early, air dodge to the ledge, air dodge onto the stage. You just have to, you know, it's pretty hard to react to that sort of thing. You kind of have to guess that as soon as they're running towards the edge of the stage that they're going to be going low, which can be baited. Shield. So yeah, so like this is a thing that Tweek's been doing a lot, been like running shield to try to bait out an option that'll be punished. It doesn't work here, so he full hops up and double jumps up to try to set up a falling forward air against a potential like forward air approach. That also doesn't happen, but Tweek, now Mars makes a mistake. So then Tweek's like, oh, well, I'll kill you. Thanks. he's taking a lot of free things that he's tricking Mars into giving him. Probably tried to neutral air there. Definitely will not catch the jump forward air. He does a pretty good job of mixing up whether he's going to land on the platform or not. So like falling from a height like this, generally you expect your opponent to land on the platform and like work from here. Instead he falls through and then starts the aerial afterwards. Down throw up air. Yeah, so like Roy doesn't get great pressure off of down throw up air. And Mars does a good job here of drifting to the left to try and trick Tweek to like cover this space rather than cover the center platform. But yeah, it's pretty hard to like cover all the options that your opponent can go to after the down throw up air. Falling up air, gonna cash in a nice quick string. What that roll was about. Weird. Wonder if not intentional. Yeah, so this is another thing that's interesting to talk about. This, of course, is not a true combo. This is not true. This is not a combo in any regard. It's not even a false combo. But what he's doing here, so he's forward throwing, and he's not going low enough that he's going to be forced to attack. He is going to get out of hit stun like at this, just like a couple frames after this. From this point, Mars has the option of jumping, of air dodging, and then probably being forced to attack, which is a bad situation. Or he can follow with an aerial. So the sliding F tilt here that Tweek does actually is like a hard counter to the falling aerial. I assumed he was doing a falling aerial, but let's see the start of it here. Weird. He might have just been not doing anything. You've just been waiting. Don't know about this up. Wonder if he accidentally jumped here? He definitely started the uppy way too high. I don't mind the falling up air. So here, similar to Roy, whenever he upbees and misses, it's a situation where it's going to be like a 50-50 between whether or not Mars is going the upbeater is going to land on the platform or fast fall through the platform and land here. Tweek actually covers both, which is kind of cool. He turns around and then is falling up right through the platform. This hits landing on the platform, but it also reach around and hit them if they fell too. I think this is a situation where it might be a little bit better just to go for the throat instead. Like F tilt, side B, certainly F smash will all kill here. So it might have been better to just go for reaction punish, or just a call out on one of them. Just landing when it goes up B have. Up B has 30 frames of landing lag. That is a ton of landing lag. Roy also has 30 frames of landing lag. So that's definitely a time where like realistically, it's time you could potentially like do something like wait on the platform and F tilt if they land on the platform, or fall through in forward air if they don't, or like fall through in air one and kill them or something like that. I think this is a situation where like if you were totally ready for it, you could totally kill your opponent. This is why I asked you if it was real or not yesterday. Yeah, so this Mars goes for the rising forward air again. This time Tweek actually goes extra low, which is kind of funny. Behold the dash back turnaround in action again. Again, very, very similar to his Smash 4 Cloud play. This is the sort of thing where like Tweek could use this sort of situation to sniff out situations where he could use down tilt to like anti-air or like counter hit his opponent. This is the second time this song is played, but this song is a banger, so I'm gonna rock. Yeah, like right here, this is actually not a sweet spot side B. And I think he could have got a sweet spot side B if he slowed down the swings a little bit. So like right here, he's like like he does it really rapidly. If he had delayed a little bit, I think it would give time for Zero Suit to fall just a little bit into the actual sweet spot final hit. Because if he's just too high, like yes, you'd have to be a little bit lower to get caught by the furthest out edge of the sweet spot side B. Forward airs. I like using these platforms instead of pulling forward airs like this. There. X. Maybe a little bit too. I feel like Tweek is getting a little bit too caught up in the moment here. He's getting a little too excited with the fight. Expecting falling neutral air, ledge trapping, and trying to slip behind him. Yeah, again, the up air can work here. Again, he's young. I feel like he's especially far away. Normally, you do have to dash before doing the up air here, so at 0%. So maybe that's the reason why it's not working. I think that right there was like the only neutral air Tweek did on shield. Very interesting. One of the few. You did like one or two others, but maybe one other. Jab back air, not gonna kill quite yet. F smash probably would have killed here. Maybe if he charged it, it would have killed here. Then he wouldn't have been able to react. Like if he started charging F smash right now, he would kill him. But I'm not mad that he didn't. That would be a ballsy thing to do. Then again, he does this right afterwards. I feel like this is the sort of thing where like I should have F smashed him whenever he air dodged in. So instead, I'm just gonna F smash now because I feel like I should have landed the F smash, which can backfire pretty hard. But here it actually works out really well. So right here, he is catching the like couple of vulnerable frames of Zero Suit jumping directly from the ledge with the hitbox of F smash, which is pretty nutty, honestly. Like that is a wow. That's definitely a moment where like you could see here he's actually starting the F smash up. This is not a reaction. This is like straight up a read. This is all in. I expect you to be jumping. Right, you can see here he is starting his F smash before the jump animation even starts. Like this is not a reaction. This is straight up. I bet you're gonna do this. Just pretty nuts. He definitely had like he had a good feel for when Mars was going to be choosing his ledge option, which is the only way you can really cover the sort of thing like this, is you need to put your attack out ahead of time to cover that spot right in front of the low ledge, where your opponent will be vulnerable. It's not like get up in place where you can just like react to it and then like put your hitbox out. This is a cover ahead of time, which is interesting. A lot of times, and this is one of the reasons why varying your ledge timing is so crazy important. And that probably would have covered like ledge hop aerials as well too. Like it's not a super unsafe bet because he's not at high percent either himself. So like if he misses, you know, again, consider the risk reward. What's the worst that can happen? It's not going to be huge. He's going to take some damage. And if he has a good idea of what his opponent's doing anyways, you know, if it worked, then, you know, who cares what the who really cares what the risk was, right? But yeah, that's kind of insane. Still got one more game to go for. Same thing, ban. Oh, so he does ban FT. That's interesting. He banned FT in Battlefield this time. actually go back to Yoshi's. He goes to Smashville this time. Okay, I think that's... I respect him trying to pick different stages. I do think this is also a really good Roy stage. But again, I'm not sure what else he can really pick. Right? Yeah, that's like choosing to level 1 somebody's wake up. Like choosing to DP somebody's wake up. It's different, like jabbing to cover that sort of thing versus F smashing to cover that sort of thing. It's down there to change up his landing timings. This is a thing that that really annoyed me in Smash 4. Is if Roy is jumping at Zero Suit, he has a pretty low short hop, and his legs go pretty low when he's doing that, and his leg like extends further even forward and lower whenever he's forward air. So Zero Suit can actually just grab him out of the air. This is more annoying in Smash 4 whenever Zero Suit had a crazy grab game. In this game, of course, you know, grab. The reward she gets off of grab is pretty low. But look at this. This is nice. Good thing to point out here. He lands at the spacing where Royce generally will do run and neutral air. And so rather than shielding and having to deal with like the potential being locked into shield after getting crossed up, nonsense. Royce just ducks. And then tries to shield afterwards still. So like... But that guarantees that he's not going to get hit by the startup of the neutral air. Already thinking a step ahead. This is good. So this is like a big brain Roy pressure string. This is very similar to like if Zero Suit lands with neutral air and then rather than going into jabs, like going for another short hop and neutral airing again. This is the same sort of thing that like Roy can, that Tweek is doing with Roy here. So like dropping forward air into down tilt is not a true block string. Like that, the down tilt does come out slower than jab. It comes out on frame 7. Frame 7. Which means that there's a 2-frame bigger gap than usual than from falling forward air to jab. But he's conditioned him with falling forward air into jab so much that Mars is expecting the jab to come and then like trying to forward air up B afterwards. So going for down tilt instead sort of is a way of like stealing another extra turn. And then jabs afterwards. And Mars isn't ready for it because he's already expecting the jab and he's already like probably trying the forward air. Or drop shield and do something and get who knows what. Good shield on the down B, that is going to be punishable at that range. I'm surprised this up air missed. Oh, he just it didn't actually go all the way around. The platform might be too low to be able to fall through it and then get the full coverage of the up air. That's ballsy. What if he was expecting him? I don't know what he's expecting. It was just a high side B. It was kind of misspaced. Speaking of kind of misspaced. I think he was trying to hit him with this up B. Tweek, like, I mean, he almost covered the tech with it. It's close. Good parry, but too far away to really punish. Deal, cross up border. Yeah, so this is another situation where he could have done, excuse me. Here I think would have been a great position to do sliding F smash, because sliding F tilt wouldn't kill here. Side B, you could do running side B, but I feel like there's a small maybe running side B is the proper choice. I would probably do running F smash because landing F smash feels really good, and I feel like it's roughly the same commitment of side B anyways. Give or take, but yeah, like here's a situation where like so there's not much distance between where he landed and like the edge of the stage, so sliding F smash is enough to cover all of that for sure. And then, you know, again, you make that a 50-50 between tech in versus literally everything else. You down B is invisible from frames 3 to 12. Interesting. So it's actually a slower intangible response than just air dodging now. That's kind of neat. Yeah, like sweet spot side B probably would have killed here. but you would have to run to the complete edge of the stage to make sure that it's sweep. Yeah, I was still interested. Not relevant to the thing at hand, but it's still something that we talked about. This is the good stuff. This is the future Roy juice. Parrying safe falling aerials and getting a jab off of it, because parrying doesn't make things absurdly punishable. Similar to Smash 4, it removes a little bit of the shield stun, but mostly the big benefit of parrying is that it makes it so that you no longer have drop shield frames. So the usually to do drop shield jab, you do 11 frames of shield drop and then you do 5 frames of jab start afterwards. If you parry something, you get rid of all that 11 and now it's just 5 frames, which is a very, very fast response. How's it going, Gamer? Welcome to the stream. So the benefit of parrying is that your response just becomes so much faster. And usually, like, for some characters to get like a hard punish on their parry, they need to do something like a smash attack, which will generally have like a 10 to 15 frame startup anyways, which isn't really a faster response than like your average neutral air out of shield. So it's not going to turn something that was safe before into something that you'll kill them for. But Roy Jab, on the other hand, comes out extremely fast and will kill at these percents. The fact that he can power shield, he can parry these moves and turn moves that are safe into just barely punishable. That just barely punishable is enough to murder them, which is awesome. Oh, scary. Was DI away? Is that what he lit? He's DIing away on a lot of these neutral airs and like avoiding a lot of combos. I didn't know you could do that. I wonder if he could have gotten this still. I don't think so. It looks like he's just too high. I don't think he could have delayed it longer. Like Roy's still falling at like roughly the same speed as him. I respect just going for up throw upper. He has stopped doing up throw at 0% now, so maybe it was just a Wario thing. F smash is hella unsafe, so drop shield side B is good damage. 20%, yeah, it's easier to land than F smash and only just like a couple percent less. He could have done stabs finisher. He did do stabs finisher. Never mind. I'm dumb. Good air dodge. I like that here, especially considering that the Mars has been going low so much. Like he's been running off stage. Like it's worth noting that Mars has never used this run. So like right here, as soon as he starts running to the left, that signals in Tweek's mind that he is setting up for this falling forward air, and he's never tried to show anything to the contrary. He's never like ran to the ledge and then ran back instead. So as considering the consistency of how this has happened, as soon as this happens right here, Tweek has the certainty of Mars trying to cover the low up B. And from this distance, it's really easy just to air dodge instead. So it was a good choice. Slip out of the pressure. A little bit of variance in the side B pressure. Scary stuff, but it works out. On the coverage, like he's meeting him in the air so well. So again, he does this trick where he full hops and then falls through the platform, and then up airs below the platform, which is actually a little bit of a bait in and of itself. Well, same idea as like the full hop and falling forward air to beat the forward air from Mars. So he gets the fall through the platform up air. Doesn't true combo, but he is already setting up for the double jump up air here to cover exactly where he's going to be. And then again, so here it's pretty ambiguous where Mars is actually going to be going. He could be like drifting in or drifting away. But Tweek kind of plays off of his expectations by jumping in first and then jumping away to chase where he thinks he's going to be. Great coverage. And this is a thing that's super, super important that I tell all Roys ever. It's always very, very tempting to try and go off stage. Like in these sort of situations, you know, like, oh, you hit your opponent a couple times. It's like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool? Wouldn't my combo video be so great if I just dived off stage after this string of chasing him in the air and just forward aired him off stage and he died? Like, how sick would it be? How many fans would fangirl over me? But it's really important in those sort of situations to, like, again, think about what the risks are. Think of how likely it is you're going to actually hit your opponent. Against a character like Zero Suit, who has down Bs and has good tethers and has a good up B, it's going to be really, really hard, if not impossible, to actually intercept her off stage. So anytime that you're, like, starting to go for this jump, you want to think to yourself, is this actually a good idea? And it's totally fine in this situation. If you starting to go for it, totally fine. Just make sure you back off. Like right here, this double jump away, it's perfect. I love it. I'd love to see more Roy's go for this sort of thing, because it's like, it's okay to have the urge to go off stage and like want to kill people. It's fun, it's great. Roy's good. Roy, like if Roy actually does hit you with forward air off stage, like you probably die. Like he hits pretty hard, but the likelihood of him actually hitting is pretty low. So, and doing this is like has a bit of a benefit too, because if you start doing this sort of thing where you're like you jump and then you run or you jump off stage and then you double jump back, it starts to create an expectation in your opponent's head too. So the difference between, like I was just mentioning before, how like, you know, Mars running to the ledge of the stage, anytime that Mars ran to the ledges of the stage, you could see from that cue that he was going to run off, go down, go do forward air. And this sets up like a false cue where anytime you jump, you're going to jump back to the stage, until maybe you get to the situation where you can actually cover them going off stage, and then you actually go off with the forward air, and they go, oh, well, I didn't expect you to actually forward air me because you've always been feinting it the entire time. So, things to think about. They they definitely fixed the side B for sure. I mean, it wasn't bad in Smash 4. It was okay. It was inconsistent, but it was alright. Forward tilts, again, no sweet spot. So yeah, like this situation here where Tweek actually goes off stage, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mars wasn't really expecting it, because, you know, he set up the fake feint with the jump before. Unfortunately, it wasn't a situation where he could actually catch him, because Mars was a little bit too low. If he had short hopped, it might have worked. Oh yeah, can totally use for faking out ledge jumps too, like running to the ledge and like dashing back instead. Short hopping at the ledge and then pulling it back and landing on the stage instead. Can totally bait out options from the ledge, like you're gonna trump them. Safety. Oof, good weave, very scary stuff. Okay, I like to walk away here. Tweek's just like, yeah, you side beat my shield, that's cool. I can't punish that. I'm not gonna try and press buttons and be dumb. I'm gonna be safe and just turn around. Good up smash. Okay, so up smash does kill at 120, 118. So it would have been close to killing in the Texas situation we were talking about on Stadium. I need to learn how to do this. I'm kind of bad at doing this trick where like you fall through the platform and then do the aerial immediately afterwards. It's a really, really good trick. Yep, again, standing at that position. This is so important in this matchup in particular, to be shielding in this situation. Because usually you're like, oh, well, my opponent's not on the ledge yet, and like they don't have anything they can threaten me with. I'll just need to get into position and like set up my spacing for my moves, my neutral air at the ledge. But Zero Suit is actually really threatening in this position. You need to be shielding here, because if not, she down Bs, she stomps you here, and she does falling neutral air and down Bs you when you die. Like, I don't know if it actually kills you that low percent, but that's what the threat is. I just think that's funny. Mars is like, haha, I got you. I see you dashing in. Oh, crap. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, need to leave. He definitely freaked out a little bit there. That's okay. I don't blame him. It's just funny. And the interception here too. Like even a call out, like Mars did this already. And this is a good example of like when really high level players are playing. Generally, whenever you're playing against like good players, if you do something 3 times in a row in the same situation, you'll get punished. If you're playing against really, really good players, if you do something 2 times in a row in the same situation, you'll get punished. And this is a good example of that, where he gets sent up at the same position where he was before, where he's up high, even on the same side of the stage, even on the left side of the stage, and double jumps, and now it's a situation where he has to land from this double jump. And so rather than going for falling aerials, which is like a fairly predictable time that can be parried and stuff, he falls and then does this down air, which delays it a little bit and then has like a big hitbox. It's kind of a tricky thing, but he's already done it once. And here Tweek actually short hops up extra high, like full hops up extra high. Like usually you wouldn't be going this high to try and cover things with Roy. It's usually pretty dangerous. But he knows he's going to be going for the down air, so he goes to cover that and actually kills him off. Beautiful. I'm always wondering, is it kind of bad for Croy if he has to shield? Not really. Like, he doesn't have... the greatest out of shield options. The options he does have are pretty fast. He has Nair out of shield and up B. So Roy particularly has Nair out of shield and up B out of shield, which are both 9-frame responses. The problem with Roy's in particular are that they don't generally work against the smaller characters. Like obviously, if you short hop neutral air on the way up, you're not going to hit a character. Welcome to the stage again. Hope you're enjoying the stream. If you do rising neutral air against a character like P2 or Almar or even like Greninja, like you're just not going to hit them. It's just going to miss. Up B is a frame 9 response, which is pretty fast, but doesn't have a ton of horizontal range, so they have to be like right up on you for you to actually hit them. Crom, on the other hand, his up B is a frame slower. It's a frame 10 response, but it has a shit ton more range. So, like a lot of times, if Roy does neutral air on a Crom's shield and crosses him up with it, a lot of times it'll still get punished because Crom will just reverse up B and then cover like an F tilt size hitbox behind him. So Crom's up B is a little bit more consistent up in the out of shield option, despite the fact that it's a tiny bit slower and it does a lot of damage. It's like 26 damage. So not necessarily bad if Crom or Roy have the shield, and especially if you make good decisions out of the shielding, like Tweek is doing in most of these sets, then it's fine. It's not a big deal. You just have to do it right. Up air strings, nice up air in the air. Really controlling that platform really well. I like the fallback through here. So before on stadium, he got punished by like running in too much after wave landing onto the platform, but here he sees it's clearly not a good position to be running in afterwards. King even swarm. Appreciate the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Here it's definitely a much better decision just to either run off to the left or just drop down. He's too low underneath the platform itself for that to be a good option. Folks, that was a dangerous situation. This is another one where like Roy could do sliding F smash and like deep sweet spot F smash might kill Zero Suit here. Like, she might just die. It's getting to that point. So it's good DI here on Mars actually, because like usually you don't want to DI forward throw away versus Roy because then it like sends you too low to the ground, like you get forced into tech situations. But here he's actually just perfect to snap to the ledge instead. So yeah, so here, even here, he probably could have pressed a button. I feel like Tweek is underestimating a little bit how much lag the neutral B has. A slightly awkward position because he can't really running off forward air from here because he's Mars is too close to the platform still. He might have been able to run off up air, so I don't necessarily blame him for trying to go for this. He unfortunately misinputted the turnaround grab, which would have been good. He had the correct idea. Good. Don't get this turnaround down tilt. So beautiful. Okay, so he's missed a couple jab back airs. Not a ton, but a couple, which is respectable. It's okay. And then jab back air's a little bit... It's harder to land with Ryan than it is for Crom, since you have to hit the sweet spot of the back air and sweet spot of the jab. Oh, this is so good. So good. He even has time to... So he does back air, and it's pretty safe because he's spaced pretty far away. He does jab, same thing. He jabs again. He's expecting the jab to be unsafe at this point in time, so he actually shields. Like he flicks his shield here for a second here, in the hopes of like getting a parry off of a back air or like an up B or something like that. Sees that his opponent did actually get hit at this point in time. Knows that he got tip back air or tip jab, so he's definitely not comboing off of it. So rather than again rushing in and like pressing buttons and doing down tilt or like jumping and charging neutral B or something dumb, dash in, dash back. Oh. My opponent rolled in. And at this point in time, as he's seeing like the air dodge in, he has a pretty good idea that his opponent is holding in, which means that he's going to be teching in. So at that point in time, it's relatively easy for him to react with the F tilt. His reaction is godlike. Tweek's reaction is really good. Hot take, Crom's recovery is only bad against certain characters, and that people say. Yeah, he's definitely... Crom is an interesting take because he has characters where his recovery is god-awful, and then he has characters where his recovery is okay. It's always going to leave him kind of vulnerable because of the fact that he doesn't have hitboxes on the way up, but some characters are worse at punishing that for sure. If you have a counter, his recovery is awful. If you have like a water gun, his recovery is awful. If you don't have those things, then it's a question of like, do you have a good spike, or are you really good at edgeguarding Crom personally? But yeah, that's Tweek's Roy. Really interesting. Really, really fundamentally sound. I think anyone who's playing Roy should be watching these sets and keeping paying close attention to how Tweek is acting out of shield, how he's treating neutral, how he's using neutral air. Because all those aspects, and his edgeguarding, it's not his edgeguarding, but his ledge trapping as well is really good. And his edgeguarding, mostly the lack thereof. He went off stage with forward air like 2 times. Once when it was a really good idea, and the other time it's kind of like a desperation move after he had fainted that he was going to go off stage, and it didn't work. He didn't die, but then after that he was like, okay, we go back to ledge trapping now. That clearly didn't work. Since Joker's been off for a good while, do you think Joker's losing matchup against Roy? I think it's roughly even. Joker doesn't have good out of shield options, but he's the sort of character who doesn't necessarily need them because he's not going to be fighting in the fray. Whenever Joker punishes you, it's not going to be because he blocked something, it's because you whiffed the move because he's being evasive and annoying, and you're not sure how to actually hit him. So I don't think his bad out of shield options are necessarily an awful thing against Roy, especially because once he gets Arsene, his hitboxes are super, super big, so he doesn't need to, again, be playing super defensive. He can play defensive with his hitbox coverage. Okay, but I think that is actually going to be it for the stream tonight. I got some games to go be playing, so I'm gonna find a good stream to go raid for you guys. Always online. I think Wario vs. Rise dead even. Yeah, I think I can see that. Awesome, glad you enjoyed it, Kaden. Glad you enjoyed it, Kaden. And yeah, if you didn't see my message in Discord, Kaden, anyone who's subbed on my Twitch channel, if you link your Discord account and your Twitch account together, then you'll automatically get the sub role applied on Discord, which we have our own little. It's not super active at the moment, but we do have a sub only section of it. I usually try and post on stuff back there with what I'm working on in the background, in the shadows. I think you have to go into your Twitch account itself, go into the properties. I think it's settings, and then connections, and then through there you can go to connect your Discord. I'm not sure. I've got it set up myself, but I set it up a while back. If you just do a quick Google on it, it should pull up the instructions for that. See, none of the friends are playing Smash, but Wobbles is actually playing Rain World. If any of you guys have not seen Wobbles, Wobbles is one of the best Ice Climbers players in the world in Melee. Really, really cool guy. He's playing a fun game called Rain World, which is a little survivalist, surreal game. So maybe something that a lot of you guys won't necessarily be interested in, but I'm gonna throw you his way anyways. You go say hi to him for me. And thanks again for all the guys who resubbed today. We're getting closer to the sub goal. I'll see you guys next time.
I can get this guy up there. Hey, Sethlon is raiding with a party of 10. Thanks, Sethlon. I really need to make sure I'm following you so I can raid you back sometime. Good place. Hurt. You can do it, Slickcat. Oh god, he's freaking out. No! The slope. Okay. We're not getting to take our midnight snack with us, unfortunately.